I'm Nicole from Sweet Domicile, and welcome back to my channel. I don't know about you, but I love Anthropologie, and I get so much inspiration when I walk through their store. I love to get their magazines in the mail because I love to flip through the pages and just get new and fresh ideas for things that I might want to do in our own apartment. I've had my eye on their Primrose mirror for quite some time. I think that it's beautiful, but it's a little out of budget. So I've been wanting to do my own spin on it for a whole lot less. And I've had my eye on just kind of every time I went thrifting or just browsing through Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, I would look to see like what was out there, and I just hadn't seen anything. And while we were in North Carolina, I happened to go thrifting and I found this mirror that was only $13, and I almost didn't get it. I actually went back to my car, thought about it, then went back to get it. So I'm so glad that I did because I added a little paint and a little extra detail to it, and I absolutely love it. And I think you're going to love it too. And I think I'm hoping that you're going to be inspired to want to do something like this yourself. It's so simple, and I'm going to show you what I did. So let's go. This is where it all started, the Primrose mirror at Anthropologie, and this is my thrifted mirror. So I brought the mirror back to the house that we were renting, and using a fine grit sanding block, I'm just going to take some of the sheen off of the frame so that any paint that I apply to it will adhere to it nicely. The sanding is finished, so I've brought it back inside and I'll give it a good wipe down. I found this wood detail from Hobby Lobby, and it's perfect for the top of the mirror, but I don't like the way the two end pieces go up on the sides. So while we were in North Carolina, we were not too far away from my brother's house, and he had a saw that we were able to use, and he trimmed the two end pieces off. So now this piece will fit more flush on top of the mirror. I'm actually going to hold on to these two little pieces because I have a perfect plan for them. Just a quick little sanding job to make sure there are no splinters. Yes, you're seeing me at a different location. It's because we're back at our apartment in New York, so I'm taping the mirror off and I'm prepping it for painting. In case you haven't noticed, my taping job requires very serious faces. Okay, so I have put the painter's tape all around the edges of the mirror. You'll see when was pretty tricky because of the curvature of the mirror, of the frame. I really had to take it into the tape into tiny little pieces and wedge it into these little corners, into these curves. So I got it done. Now I'm ready to put on the gold rub. Okay, I'm going to be starting by using this rub and buff. This cost me $6.99 at Hobby Lobby, and the mirror was $13 at the thrift store, so we're doing pretty good so far with the cost of this project. So I'm just going to get this going. I'm going to puncture the tip of the bottle. Oh, and it's already coming out. Oh, and it's oozing out. So I'm going to start the project now. Okay, I think I expected this to be almost more like a paste. I've never worked with this before, but I saw it in the craft section at Hobby Lobby, so I thought, you know what, this could potentially work. Oh, you know what, it is a little bit more of a paste. I don't know if you can see the consistency of it, but maybe when it was just first opened up, it was really runny, so it was a little deceiving. So I've got just a old rag, an old t-shirt of my husband's, and I'm just gonna, you can use your fingertip with this as well, but I don't want to have to scrub this off with my fingers. So I'm just going to apply it with a soft cloth, and when I'm done, I'll give it a little buff. So I finished applying the gold rub. As I went along, I just used another one of my little cloths to just wipe off any of the extra excess and also adding a little extra luster. Using the same rub and buff that I used for the frame, I'm applying it to the wood detail. I tried using it with the cloth, but I wasn't able to get into all the little crevices as easily, so instead I tried it with a stencil brush and it worked perfectly. Okay, so the gold rub has, I guess it's dried. I mean, it felt like it was dry, honestly, from the beginning. But now, in order to give it just a little bit more of that antique look finish that Anthropologie's mirror has, I got a little black paint. It probably, well, I know it would have been better with a little black stain. I don't have that, but I have some black paint. And so I'm taking that same stencil brush that I was using to paint the gold decals the wood decals for the mirror. I'm using that same brush, and I'm just gonna dry brush a little bit of this black paint into some of these crevices, just to give it a little bit of that agey gold antique look. And it's just enough, and then I can also go in here and wipe it off. So, just gives it just enough. Not much. Literally not much at all, just enough. So I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll be back. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys an up close look at the scroll feet that I put at the bottom of the mirror. You can see this little detail here and the one right here. They're just little additions. They were the extra pieces that were cut off from the wood detail that was at the very top of the mirror. I'm using them here just to fill in that gap. There was a lot of open air space that I didn't want, because if you look at the Primrose mirror at Anthropologie, it's more of a solid piece, and I was trying to go for that same look. And instead of throwing these two pieces away, I just glued it to the back with some Gorilla Glue along with a little glue gun, and it held it on there nice. So I'll flip it over so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's an up-close view of the scroll footing at the bottom from the front of the mirror. You can see the little extra wood detail that's here in the back. I love that it actually gives it a little extra dimension, which I think is quite nice. I painted it to match the rest of the mirror, so now you really can't even tell that it wasn't supposed to be that way. So I think it turned out awesome. Okay, that's it for today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. This entire project cost me less than $40, which I think is a fantastic deal. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and then turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video. I'll see you next time. Bye!